Good afternoon. Welcome to Midcap Radar live from the CNBC-TV18 Motilal Oswal studio. I'm Sonal Bhutra. With me is Vivek Iyer. For the markets closer to the day's high, we started on a choppy note, but then we saw recovery. Nifty now above that level of 24,850. We'll see whether it stays at those levels or not. And we have a lot of stocks to talk about today, so we'll get started.
That's right. Good afternoon, Sonal. Well, it's a choppy trading session, but currently markets are continuing to hover around the flat line or in the green mark. We have a lot lined up on the show, some important data to address as well, as you can see on the bottom of the screen. So let's start off with the top headlines. Stocks trade in the green with the market breadth only mildly positive. IT, healthcare and pharma notch gains, while PSU banks along with oil and gas track. Mid-caps are relative underperformers.
Voltamp transformers under pressure after 8.12 lakh shares worth 618 crore rupees change hands in a block deal window. A promoter holding to fall below 30%, stocks down nearly 3%.
Prime focus shares hit 10% upper circuit for the third consecutive trading session. Kraft Emerging Market Fund acquires 3.87% stake in the company. The stock now has surged over 30% in the last three trading sessions.
Glenmark Pharma gains after it receives an upfront payment of $700 million from AbbVie for an exclusive global licensing agreement. Stock is up nearly 3%.
Quality Power in focus after its step-down subsidiary receives two orders worth 75 crore rupees to supply fact system to a European customer for a steel plant.
All right, those are the top headlines for the markets, as we pointed out, closer to the day's high. And if we talk about mid-caps, around 11 o'clock, it was deep in the red. Then it did see some recovery. And right now, as we speak, it's up around 100-odd points. So that drop that came by, that time, the mid-cap index was down 200 points from the highs of the day, but now recovered well. It's almost an 80-point uptick on the mid-cap index. The advanced decline ratio quite flat, actually. There are 2,100 stocks on the advancing side versus 2,100 stocks on the declining side. This is as per the BSE data. So converging these two lines, it started on the back foot, but now these two lines have been at par with each other. Nifty IT doing well. Nifty Pharma is the other one. We do have some pressure which has come by in the banking names, especially the PSU space. So watching out for that one. But we have our special segment now, Mid-Cap Movers. Vivek has gone across to the wall. He's going to take us through the mid-caps that are moving around in trade. Vivek.
Well, that's right. No dearth of names as far as the broader end of the market. Some sharp movers seen over there. First on the list has to be Engineers India. After a while, this particular stock is doing quite well in the session today. One of the top gainers as far as the NSE 500 is concerned. Cooled off a little bit in the last half hour or so. Railtel, Auto Vinci over there, that particular stock high by almost 4%. Action Construction, this particular name has been continuously buzzing since the last couple of trading sessions. Today, high by another 5%. And PVR Inox, after a while, yesterday did see significant selling pressure, but today has bounced back quite sharply. And the mid-cap IT pack today has seen a bit of a bounce back. So names like Tata Elxsi, Coforge, some of the names along with the large-cap IT names are seeing a bit of a bounce back today. But on the other hand, quite a few laggards as well. GMDC, a stock that we've been talking about continuously in terms of this particular stock seeing a one-way rally. Today seeing a bit of profit booking. So one of the top laggards as far as the NSE 500 is concerned. Netweb Technologies today down almost 3%. Some of the new age names, so names like Nykaa, Delivery, Paytm, all three of these stocks under a bit of pressure today. Bharat Forge yesterday, remember, was up almost 6%, giving up some of those gains today. And CG Power, one of the names from the broader end of the market that's seeing a bit of selling pressure, has recovered though from the recent intraday lows.
Okay, all right. Some interesting names there. Thank you so much for joining us with those details, Vivek. Let's now welcome Shrikant Chauhan for a technical check on the market. Shrikant, good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining in. Well, what is the market factoring in? We have seen some choppy trade. Then it's closer to the day's high. Will that continue?
Good afternoon, Vivek. Good afternoon, Sonal, and everyone. So, market is finding a lot of difficulties to sustain at higher levels. But on the day of weekly expiry of Nifty options, we are seeing good amount of resilient activity close to 820, 830 levels. And most of the time, whenever there is a recovery, we are seeing market moving towards 24,900. So broadly, I am of the view that till the markets are not breaking 24,600, we could see further upside in the near term. And we may even see the levels of 25,000, 25,100. That's the overall view. Bank Nifty is struggling, but it is holding well above the mark of 54,000, which is positive. And in case if there is any upward activity in the market, then we can expect Bank Nifty to move towards the levels of 55,000. So I think at these levels, markets are consolidating, and in the near term, we are going to see upside in the market.
Okay, so near term, you're expecting some upside, Shrikant. In terms of individual stocks, which are the ones that you're liking at current levels? All buys or any sells as well?
No, I think most of these mid-cap stocks, they are doing really well. They rallied a lot in the month of February, March, and April when the market actually recovered from the lows, and after that they have started consolidating. JSW Infra is specifically was uh, into downward activity of some few weeks, but now again it is recovering back. It has been consolidating since last almost 6 months, and now based on its technical pattern, I am of the view that it is heading for the levels of at least 350 and maximum 370. So the stock is forming ascending triangle, which is positive, and at current levels, it is quite attractive to buy and hold. The other stock on which we are bullish is Jamna Auto, and here the stock is forming V-shaped recovery sort of formation. Few days back, there was some block deal, and because of that, we are seeing renewed buying interest in the stock. Based on its technical formation, again, the stock is heading for the levels of 160. That is what that we can conclude based on its technical pattern. Currently, it is around 110 levels. We should look for adding the stock at current levels and more on dips.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Shrikant, for joining us today. We'll now do one thing. We'll shift focus to the August life insurance data. These stocks are surging in trade. Yash is joining us with all these details. Yash?
Well, very interesting data has come about as far as the month of August for life insurance companies is concerned. Let me speak about the best performer as far as the month of August. And it has been the best performer for the last few months now. And that is Axis Max Life Insurance, the strongest growth which the company has posted as far as the month of August is concerned. And it's the fifth straight month of strong double-digit growth for Axis Max Life Insurance. What's even better is that in the last 5 months that we are talking about, this strong growth has come on a base which was already very strong. The company has been growing at its base level for about 20 to 25%. On top of that, it's registering a growth of about 20 to 25%. To speak about the weakest growth, that has come from SBI Life Insurance. The renewal premium has been decent, but what has become a problem is the new business premium, coming in this year, which is very slow to the point of actually growing at flat levels. To speak about absolute numbers, for HDFC Life Insurance, the new business premium has grown at 10%. Total AP is grown at 3%. Retail AP has been flat for the month of August. ICICI Prudential Life, it's weak growth over a strong base. So the new business premium growing at 18%, total AP at 35%, but retail AP, that's down at about 13%. Axis Max Life Insurance, very strong growth, as I said, over a very strong base. So new business premium growing at 20% in the month of August. Total AP growing at 17% in the month of August. And finally, retail AP also seeing a growth of 16%. SBI Life, as I said, weak growth over a favorable base which the company had. So, of course, it had everything working for it. But still, in the month of August, the growth has been weak. The new business premium is up 23%. That is largely because of the renewal premium. But when it comes to new business premium, look at AP. That's grown by just about 1%. Retail AP has degrown, has fallen by about 4%. Finally, LIC, new business premium, that has come down by about 17%. Total AP down by about 0.2%. Retail AP down 5%.
Thank you so much, Yash, for joining us and helping us make sense as far as the August data for the insurance sector is concerned. But it's a good time to slip into a short break. We'll get you more on the markets and we'll focus on IIL, Chem, Quality Power and Railtel on the other side. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Mid-Cap Radar. Well, quite a few of the mid-caps are doing quite well in the session today. Have a look at 63 Moons. Now, this particular stock in the last 20 minutes of the session has perked up to the high point, now trading with healthy gains of almost 5%. It'll be interesting to see what is the news flow over here. Along with that, if you look at some of the other names as well, look at the mid-cap index. Tata Communication yesterday did see some news flow in this particular name. That's doing quite well. Tata Com today amongst the top gainers as far as the mid-cap index is concerned. Glenmark Pharma, they've gone ahead and told the exchanges that they received the first milestone payment as far as the monetization of the important IGI molecule is concerned. Street clearly likes that, up over 3%. Ola Electric, again, this particular stock in the last 3 trading sessions saw a bit of selling pressure emerge, but today has recovered quite sharply. Again, cooled off a little bit from the day's high. On the other hand, quite a few stocks seeing selling pressure. The defense names, have a look at BDL, Bharat Dynamics, that stock near the day's lowest point. Also look at Geofin, has cooled off a little bit from the day's highest point. And UPL continues to witness selling pressure in the last few trading sessions. This particular stock has witnessed trading pressure. But a few stocks in focus on the back of news flow. Quality Power is one stock from the broader end of the markets that has seen some order inflows come in. Vamakshi is standing by to give us more development as far as this name is concerned.
Well, absolutely, Vivek. The stock is in focus today on the back of a couple of order wins. Now, keep in mind the company's step-down subsidiary, which is Endox Energy, has received 2 significant orders. Now, keep in mind that Quality Power owns nearly 51% of Endox Energy, which is a Turkey-based company, through its subsidiary Quality Power Engineering Products. This order is to supply fax system to a European customer for a steel plant, and both of these orders have a combined value of around 75 crores, and it will be executed over the next year. Now, how big or small is this order? Let's also give a perspective to our viewers. Endox order book stood at 175 crores in the first quarter of FY26. Now, this 75 crore order therefore accounts for almost 43% in terms of size of the current order book. So therefore, if you only look at Endox, it's a significant order win. Apart from that, the overall order book stood at 775 crores. So therefore, in the context of this overall book, which includes orders that came in for Quality Power, Meru, as well as Endox, this order accounts for almost 10% of the current order book. Now, how does this order actually translate to the profitability? We also did a back of the envelope calculation. Now, Endox had a PBT margin of almost 27%, as highlighted by the management in the Q1 con call. Now, assuming that this order is executed at that same margin level, the PBT from this order could be at around 20 odd crores, and out of which 51%, which is Quality Power share, could be at around 10 crores. So this in turn is approximately almost 10% of FY25 PBT. So, just giving our viewers some perspective again, mentioning that this is the back of the envelope calculation, and this order win resultantly pushing the stock higher in trade today.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Vamakshi, for explaining that move to us. The stock, though, has come off from the highs of the day this month. It is up 20%, and in the last 2 weeks, it's up around 19%. That's about Quality Power, but RailTel is in focus as well. Winnie is here to tell us about the order wins that this company has received.
Hi, afternoon. So yes, last evening, post-market hours, RailTel received several orders amounting to a total of 713 crore rupees. Now, this order has come in from the State Project Director, Bihar Education Project Council. So this is from the Bihar Education Project Council that they've received these orders. Now, there are 2 big orders in this as well. One is for procurement, supply and installation of smart classrooms for government middle school, which is for around 262 crores. The other one is also related to procurement, supply and installation of smart classrooms of government in secondary school as well for 257 crores. So this amounts to around 500 crores, and then there's remaining smaller orders also that have come in from the State Project Director of Bihar Education, which we're seeing coming in. Now, other than that, do not forget, just a short while ago, we had seen one more order that's come in from IRCTC for RailTel as well, around 19 crores rupees. So keep an eye out on RailTel in terms for the orders that they've received in the last 2 days.
That's right, Winnie. A lot of orders coming in as far as RailTel is concerned. So that's keeping the stock active in an otherwise lackluster session. Well, we'll now slip into a short break. We'll get you more on the markets and stock-specific action on the other side. Stay tuned.
Welcome back. You're still tuned into Mid-Cap Radar. A lot of stocks in the broader markets have seen a sudden surge, up maybe 20-30% in the last couple of days itself. This is a segment, Mid-Cap Spotlight. Ekta is going to tell us what's happening with IOL Chemicals. What's the buzz here, Ekta?
Well, IOL Chemicals, seems to have picked up a lot of pace this year. It's up around 41% this year. It's buzzing today, and it was yesterday as well. Now, as of Q1, the company said that the overall demand environment remains stable, but pricing has been subdued for them. Paracetamol, which is one of their key products, that pricing was low, but demand is better than the pre-COVID levels. They are seeing good demand in non-ibuprofen APIs as well, such as metformin, paracetamol, pantoprazole. So they are seeing some amount of pickup, and in fact, they aim to diversify their API portfolio to 50-50 split between ibuprofen as well as non-ibuprofen. Now, paracetamol plant has commenced exports to Europe as well as other regulated markets. So that should probably also be a trigger for IOL Chemicals going forward.
Thank you so much, Ekta, for joining in and explaining to us what's actually driving the shares of IOL Chem higher in the last couple of trading sessions. Well, moving on, in an exclusive conversation with CNBC-TV18, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman outlined the government's economic roadmap, highlighting GST rationalization as a key driver of consumption without compromising on fiscal discipline. Let's listen in.
There's more money given already through the income tax cut. Right. The rates are coming down. So the citizen now has a choice to meet his aspirations and his expectations. He cannot say, look, I have the money because the income tax is reduced, but these items are beyond my affordability. Now everything has come down. I'll give you this number which is important. 99% of all the goods and services which are touched by GST are now either in 0 or in 5 or in 18. That's right. With consumption going up, there's a potential for capacities to grow, investments to grow. It has an immediate psychological effect that I can do this, which was beyond my affordability. And therefore, I think there will be a buoyancy in terms of revenue.
All right, that's the word coming in from the Finance Minister. But even Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal says that the India-United States relationship is the most consequential. He said that India is a patient country and believes in dialogue and diplomacy amidst the tariff standoff with Trump administration. Listen in.
We have had certain blips, like we had the sanctions post the nuclear tests in 1998. Yes. I look at this only as one more situation which will pass as there's a deeper understanding of the reality of the situation. And I'm very confident this relationship will only strengthen in the years to come. It could happen soon enough. It may take some time. Irrespective, we will continue to be friends. We will continue to be engaged with the United States. And I'm sure we will continue to have greater economic relationships, defense relationships, greater interest in a safe, fair and secure Indo-Pacific. In some sense, it's a very multi-dimensional relationship. Issue that can hurt national interests, that can hurt the interests of our farmers, our fishermen, our MSME industry, issues which are sensitive with religious sensitivity. Those would be broadly the issues where India would need a more understanding when we finalize the framework of our agreement. And we will never compromise on the interests of our farmers, our fishermen, our MSMEs, or our religious sensitivities. Internal processes, legal processes in the US, and will be sorted out by the US government. We have no role to play in that. But ours is an effort to reach a far more sustaining and long-term, fair, equitable and mutually beneficial agreement and partnership, and we continue to be focused on that.
Well, some very important commentary coming in as far as the Commerce Ministry, Piyush Goyal, is concerned. But having a look at the markets, the Nifty Bank has completely flattened out in the trade, now flirting in the negative territory. Nifty continues to hold on to gains of around 80 points. What are the stocks that are doing quite well, or the sectors? Well, the FMCG pack has made a bit of a comeback. So two names from there, Colgate-Palmolive as well as Tata Consumer. Both of these stocks have recovered, now trading near the day's highest point. Navin Fluorine, a stock that we highlighted earlier today, that particular stock has seen some buying emerge, especially in the last half hour of the session. So Navin Fluorine up almost 1.5%. ICICI Bank too has made a bit of a comeback, now trading near the day's highest point. And the entire mid-cap IT space and TechM within that stock is up almost 2.5%. Of course, Infosys continues to remain the top gainer as far as the Nifty IT index is concerned. But with that, it's all the time we have on this edition of Mid Cap Radar. Mutual Fund Corner when we return.